I like Hipster well, although the recent update to Crossy Road was a bit of a stumble. The introduction of an expensive in-app purchase doesn't feel like the Hipster well we know. While it was unusual that people could block ads without spending money, the correction to that mistake was shocking. So, how can we fix that? How can Crossy Road be improved? That's what this video is about. You can also post your suggestions in the comments. Hipster Well clearly wants that information. During the 9th birthday celebration for Crossy Road, there was a message beneath the long chicken. It said visit our socials to let us know what you'd like to see next. Let's start by critiquing the version 6.0 update. I don't know why Hipster Whale is spending so much time fussing with the interface. The classic look was better. However, if this is the design that they want, I see two potential improvements. First, does the black sidebar need to be so wide? That's the first introduction to this update. It makes Crossy Road feel less like a game and more like a website or an office app. So perhaps it could be more narrow. Also, is black really the best color choice? But overall, I do think that this change works. I like how the game scrolls between the different sections. What doesn't work is the character select screen. White is the wrong color for this background. It makes this section seem less fun. That's the second suggestion. Either go back to that standard Crossy Road blue, or do something else. Perhaps the background is a pattern that moves. White just seems like a placeholder, as if this part of the game is unfinished. Now, moving on to the two new characters, popular consensus in the Photics TV community is that $8 is too much. But instead of lowering the price, I think the better move is to make these two characters truly legendary. Perhaps they could unlock characters that open up a new area. $8 to block ads? Meh, that's not new. It's not exciting either. This footage is from an Apple TV, where ads weren't really a thing anyway. But two new characters that unlock a new exclusive area, now that's interesting. Even better, chain those unlocks. Perhaps Adbuster unlocks a new character, and then that new character unlocks another new character. Yet, we're still left with the fact that the legendary characters are not legendary. So first, fix the scoring. There's a bug that makes any score greater than 0 the new top score. In other words, it's not recording the top score. That should be fixed, and the leaderboards should be updated accordingly. There isn't a leaderboard for the legendary characters. I wonder what that dance category was about. Which I suppose is another suggestion. Why does it always have to be a competition? Perhaps there's a daily cooperative event. Instead of the pecking order, perhaps players team up to reach a specific goal. If they achieve that goal, they win a prize. It's kind of like the job board in Crossy Road Plus, but the community works together to reach the goal. What would be those prizes? Well, Hipster Well seems distracted by something, so the prize shouldn't be too intensive. Instead, keep it simple. Why not let players simply customize their characters? Changing colors worked for Mortal Kombat. Or perhaps there's a custom chicken, where you can decorate your chicken. There are hats in Crossy Road Castle, so maybe bring that feature here. That could be a whole new section, custom. Continuing on the idea of reusing assets in a new way, why not a random section? Instead of playing in the grassy area, or a desert area, or the snow area, why not a random area that mixes things up? That's the main reason why the version 6.0 update was underwhelming. There wasn't a new area. But if Adbuster and Adfighter played in a randomized playfield, that could look cool. Hipster Well, if you're having trouble thinking of a new area, I'll suggest it again. The United States of America. Perhaps that's too long of a name, so it could be USA for short. There are so many other country areas in the game. It seems odd that the USA is not there. Character ideas were mentioned in a previous video. So here are some new ideas. I think you'll like it. I've noticed that retro game references are numerous in both Crossy Road and Crossy Road Castle. What made the classic games good? Well, one of the reasons I think they were popular was because they were encouraging. These weren't just games, they were inspirational. It was like training for future jobs. So apply that idea to this game. There could be a fireman or police officer in the new USA area. One of my favorite ideas is a farmer. On this level, the coins are hidden. Instead, what appears are like carrots in the ground. When the farmer reaches that square, the carrot is pulled out of the ground, revealing a coin. Spice up that coin collection process. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I have a lot of coins. There's nothing to do with them. That's a sign of a broken game economy. So, if you need more character ideas, just look at emoji. There are lots of those characters that should be in the game. Like a bowling ball. That's an idea for a new USA character. Perhaps Hipster Whale is saving the USA for the 250th birthday of the country. So, a different area could be fire-themed. There's often a boss level in video games that has lots of lava and mountains. It's something similar to the Lost Temple in Crossy Road Castle. The rivers could be lava. New characters could be a phoenix, a giant, or a rockman. The problem with that idea is that Crossy Road is a cutesy game. Such a level might be a little drab and depressing. Perhaps my mind is still thinking of the previous Phoenix TV video, which was pretty fiery. Although I think a bouncing marshmallow could look amazing against such a fiery backdrop. Maybe it hops around until it finds chocolate and graham crackers, unlocking a s'mores character. I'm not saying I have all the great ideas. This video is to get the conversation going, to help steer the ship, or well, back in the right direction. That's another good idea. A boat or a battleship. It reverses the idea that water is the obstacle. Here are a couple of more glitches that I found. First, the promo for the piggy bank seems wrong. There's something blocking the character. By the way, the reason I haven't purchased a piggy bank character is because I don't like the look of the red coins. Instead of red, what if the higher value coins were simply bigger, and with more particle effects? Speaking of particles, a wisp could be a Lava Land character. Like the fairy in Crossy Road Castle, but more white and glowing. And to wrap things up, the new legendary characters seem to get knocked out twice, if you open a quest prize on the Game Over screen. And finally, if the missile truck explodes next to another missile truck, they both should explode. Perhaps all the cars should explode too. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your great ideas.